For most of modern history, alliances have followed familiar patterns. Military coalitions, trade blocs, ideological partnerships. And if you wanted to understand global power, you'd look at troop numbers, oil routes, and treaties. But there's a new kind of alliance forming right now, and it's quieter. It doesn't march in parades. It doesn't always show up as a formal treaty. And yet, it may shape the next era of geopolitics more than anything else. I'm talking about intelligence alliances, cross-border partnerships where nations share data pipelines, AI platforms, simulation systems, and crisis intelligence to build something that no single country can build alone: collective intelligence capacity. So here's the question for today. In an economy where intelligence is a prime asset, what does cooperation look like? And who gets left out when intelligence becomes a shared club? Welcome back to the B.I channel, where data meets decisions. I'm Solen Hale. Today we're digging into a topic that's fresh, strategic, and honestly still under-discussed in public: how nations are beginning to form alliances around intelligence infrastructure itself. Joining me is Nikiema, strategist and founder of the B.I channel. Nakel has been tracking how the intelligence economy is changing diplomacy, security, and national competitiveness. Nakel, good to have you back.
Always glad to be here, Solen. This is one of those shifts that's happening in plain sight, but most people interpret it using old frameworks. They think alliances are still mostly about weapons and tariffs. Meanwhile, the real bargaining chip is becoming intelligence systems.
Let's start by getting the basics right, because intelligence alliance can sound abstract. When you say intelligence alliance, what are we actually talking about? What is being shared, and what makes it different from traditional cooperation?
Think of it as an agreement to connect national nervous systems. Instead of just sharing finished reports or occasional briefings, countries collaborate on the underlying machinery of intelligence. That can include shared data flows like health, mobility, climate, energy, or supply chain data. It can include shared AI tools like models, copilots, and decision support systems. It can include simulation engines like digital twins of cities, ports, power grids, or even conflict scenarios. And importantly, it includes crisis intelligence, early warning networks, joint monitoring, and shared situational awareness. So it's not simply military cooperation. It's collective intelligence capacity. It's the ability to sense, predict, and respond together.
So the alliance isn't just about protecting each other. It's about upgrading each other's ability to understand reality in real time. That's a big shift, because historically, intelligence was one of the most closely guarded assets. Now we're seeing countries say, we'll share the infrastructure, not just the conclusions. Why is this emerging now? Why not 10 or 20 years ago?
Three forces are pushing it. First, global crises have become too fast and too networked for single-country sense-making. Pandemics don't respect borders. Climate events cascade across regions. Cyber attacks can hit multiple countries through one vendor. Supply chain shocks start in one choke point and travel worldwide. If you're trying to manage those issues with isolated intelligence systems, you're always late. Second, the cost and complexity of modern intelligence systems is exploding. Real-time monitoring networks, national AI platforms, large-scale simulation engines. These aren't just expensive, they require talent, computing, secure infrastructure, and constant updates. Many countries look at the price tag and say, we either cooperate or we fall behind. Third, there's a growing fear of intelligence dependency. If your government's decision-making runs on someone else's platform, another country's cloud, another country's AI stack, another country's data standards, you're not fully sovereign. Alliances are a way to reduce reliance on external platforms by building shared alternatives with trusted partners.
That third point is fascinating because it sounds almost paradoxical. Countries build alliances to avoid dependency by choosing a dependency they can negotiate. It's like saying, we can't be alone, but we can choose who we're interdependent with. Okay, let's map the landscape. If a leader is listening and thinking, what counts as an intelligence alliance? How would you categorize the main types?
I usually break it into 4 types. Type 1 is data sharing alliances. This is the most straightforward. Multiple countries agree on standards and pipelines so they can combine datasets or see each other's indicators. Think cross-border disease surveillance, climate forecasting inputs, migration and mobility patterns, shipping and logistics signals. The value is simple. Better data coverage equals better predictions. But it requires trust, governance, and agreement on what's shared and what's not. Type 2 is AI platform alliances. This is newer. Countries co-develop models, shared AI services, or common tooling. They might build joint language models tailored to their languages and institutions, or shared co-pilots for public policy, or common tools for fraud detection, border security, and financial intelligence. The strategic idea is to reduce dependence on foreign AI platforms and to create an interoperable ecosystem among partners. Type 3 is crisis intelligence alliances. These are oriented around speed. Joint early warning systems, shared threat intel, coordinated response playbooks, situational awareness. And Type 4 is ethical intelligence alliances, which many people underestimate. This is when countries align on rules and norms, transparency requirements, AI auditing practices, data protection principles, and what responsible intelligence means. It's governance as an alliance strategy.
Let's slow down on the AI platform alliances, because that one feels like the frontier. Data sharing, I think people can imagine. Crisis coordination, sure. Ethics and standards, we've seen it in trade and in safety. But co-building AI platforms, what does that look like in practice? Are we talking about one big shared model, or many tools that plug into each other?
More often it's a stack, not a single model. Imagine 2 or 5 countries agree on shared data schemas. They establish shared compute arrangements or pooled investments. They create interoperable identity and access frameworks. Then they build a family of models and services that are compatible: translation, document processing, threat detection, procurement intelligence, disaster response forecasting. The strength is not just the model performance. It's the compatibility. If a crisis happens, agencies across countries can exchange machine-readable intelligence quickly. If an adversary runs disinformation campaigns, partners can share signals and classifiers. If a supply chain breaks, the simulation tools can be run across different national datasets without rebuilding everything from scratch. That's why I call it an alliance of infrastructure.
Let's connect that to simulation, because when people hear simulation engine, it can sound like science fiction. But the practical version is basically a digital twin, right? A model of reality that lets you test decisions safely.
Exactly. Simulation is where intelligence becomes actionable. If you can simulate the effects of a port shutdown, you can decide which reroutes minimize economic damage. If you can simulate flood patterns and power grid stress, you can preposition resources. If you can simulate disease spread with mobility data, you can target interventions. Now imagine doing those simulations across borders where the system is connected. A river basin doesn't stop at a border. A power grid interconnects. A shipping lane is regional. Shared simulation makes planning more realistic, and it makes the alliance materially useful, not just symbolic.
So we've got 4 types: data sharing, AI platform co-development, crisis intelligence coordination, and ethical alignment. Now I want to zoom out geographically. Different regions often have different priorities and constraints. Are we seeing distinctive styles of intelligence alliances around the world?
Yes, and it's driven by what each region needs most. In parts of APAC, there's strong momentum around real-time economic intelligence, logistics, manufacturing, maritime visibility, port and supply chain signals. The focus is speed and efficiency because trade throughput is strategic. In Europe, you see a lot of emphasis on governance and standards, what we could call an ethical intelligence union. The idea is, if we align rules, we create a trusted shared market for AI and data systems. Regulation becomes a form of integration. In North America, collaboration often centers on frontier innovation and security, advanced research ecosystems, defense intelligence, and high-end AI capability. In parts of Latin America, there's a resilience angle. Agricultural intelligence, climate and disaster forecasting, public sector modernization, capabilities that protect daily life and economic stability. And across Africa, there's enormous innovation in mobile-first intelligence systems, health, finance, urban planning, because the infrastructure path is different. It's often leapfrogging, building intelligence distribution through mobile networks rather than older centralized systems.
That's a great point. Alliances don't have to look like the same blueprint everywhere. If your region's biggest risk is climate volatility, your intelligence alliance might center on forecasting and food security. If your biggest risk is cyber and strategic competition, it might center on threat intelligence and advanced AI. Now let's talk about what countries actually get out of these alliances. Because collective intelligence sounds good, but what are the tangible strategic advantages?
There are 5 major advantages. 1 is collective resilience. When you pool sensing and analytics, you detect problems earlier and recover faster. 2 is shared crisis intelligence and coordination. The moment something triggers outbreak, cyber campaign, supply disruption, partners can align quickly because they're running compatible systems. 3 is faster innovation cycles. Shared platforms create shared learning. A model improvement in one country can benefit others. A new tool can be reused across agencies. 4 is reduced dependency. If the alliance builds its own interoperable stack, members are less exposed to external platforms that might be politically risky or economically extractive. And 5 is geopolitical influence. This is subtle but important. If your alliance becomes a standard, data formats, auditing rules, interoperable AI, other countries eventually have to connect on your terms. Standards become power.
Standards become power. That line should stick. Because when we think about dominance, we think about territory. But in the intelligence economy, the territory is the protocol, whose rules the world operates on. Okay, we have to talk about risks. Anytime nations share sensitive infrastructure, things can go wrong. What are the biggest dangers of intelligence alliances?
For core risks show up again and again. First is intelligence leakage. Shared systems increase the surface area for breaches. If one partner has weaker security, everyone is at risk. And not all leakage is a hack. It can be internal misuse or accidental exposure through poor data governance. Second is misaligned ethics and governance. 2 countries may say they support responsible AI, but define it differently. One may accept broad surveillance. Another may prohibit it. If those values clash, the alliance becomes unstable. Third is overdependence on the alliance itself. If the alliance becomes your primary intelligence backbone, you can lose autonomous capability. And if relationships sour, you face operational disruption. Fourth is intelligence asymmetry. This is critical. If one member contributes the most data, compute, or talent, they may dominate the tools and the agenda. The alliance can quietly turn into a hierarchy. There's also the meta risk, politicization. Intelligence alliances can be seen as exclusionary clubs, provoking counter-alliances.
That asymmetry point is huge. Because on paper, alliances are partnerships. But in practice, whoever owns the platforms or controls the standards can shape decisions. So if intelligence is a currency of trust, then the alliance has to manage trust like a system. Access controls, auditing, reciprocity, and governance. This leads to a practical question. If a policymaker is listening and thinking, we want to build this kind of alliance responsibly, what's the roadmap? What are the building blocks?
I describe it in 5 steps. Step 1. Shared data standards and classification rules. You need agreement on what data is shareable, at what granularity, with what protections, and under which legal authority. If you don't solve that, everything else is chaos. Step 2. Joint governance and accountability. Not just a handshake, but clear oversight structures. Auditing, incident response protocols, dispute resolution, and mechanisms to update rules as technology evolves. Step 3. Co-development of AI platforms and services. This is where pooled investment matters, shared tools, shared evaluation methods, shared red teaming, and clear policies on model access and use. Step 4. Cross-border simulation capability. Scenarios, shared digital twins where appropriate, and the ability to run what-if experiments across connected systems. Step 5. Joint crisis intelligence centers, physical or virtual, where trained teams from member countries can coordinate during fast-moving events. And underneath all of that is a principle. Alliances are built on shared infrastructure, not just shared interests. Interests change. Infrastructure, once connected, shapes behavior.
Interests change, infrastructure shapes behavior. That might be the core lesson of this entire episode. Because when nations standardize together, build platforms together, and build simulation together, they're not just cooperating for one moment. They're aligning their future decision-making. Before we close, I want to ask something a little provocative. Do you think we're moving toward a world where the most powerful blocks are not defined by geography or ideology, but by shared intelligence systems? Like, who are you interoperable with becomes the new map of global power?
Yes, I do. And I think we'll see it in layers. There will be formal alliances, but also quiet layers of interoperability. Shared datasets, shared evaluation benchmarks, shared crisis dashboards, shared compute arrangements. Over time, countries that can plug into high-trust intelligence networks will move faster and make better decisions. Countries that remain isolated will face slower response, weaker forecasting, and higher costs. And the toughest part is that this won't always look like power the way we're used to seeing it. It will look like competence, like stability, like a government that can anticipate instead of react. That's what collective intelligence buys you.
And maybe that's the ultimate shift. In the intelligence economy, power isn't just the ability to coerce. It's the ability to perceive and coordinate at scale. Today we talked about intelligence alliances, what they are, why they're emerging, the different forms they take, what regions are prioritizing, the advantages, the risks, and the practical steps to build them. Nakel, thanks for bringing clarity to a concept that's about to become unavoidable.
Thanks, Solen. This is the kind of topic where the earlier people understand it, the better decisions they'll make. Because the alliances are being built now, and later on, the rules will already be set.
And to everyone listening, thanks for spending your time with us on the B.I channel, where data meets decisions. If this episode made you rethink what an alliance can be, keep that thought. Because the next era of global cooperation won't just be about shared defense or shared markets. It will be about shared intelligence.